The most important part of your fortune business is after they've seen the presentation. All too often new reps go, well, great, think about it, you know, and let us know and all this kind of stuff. You need to operate with a sense of urgency. To be successful and to really get the momentum you want going in your fortune business, you got to operate with a sense of urgency. If you feel urgent, they will be compelled to feel urgent and take action.
Most people will do a whole presentation and never go to the close. They'll talk about the application, they'll talk about how great it's doing for them and things to that effect, but they don't ask for the close.
So it's very, very important at the end of the presentation that there's some things that you can do to wrap this up and keep the ball moving and get into their warm market and help them start sponsoring people.
When the fortune presentation's been made to your prospect, whether you've used the DVD or someone in your upline that knows a lot about the business, the next step of the presentation is going to be up to you, and it's what we call the close. The close is where you find out if this person is wanting to be a fortune manager and own their own fortune business. And you are the one that's going to be responsible for doing this because you're the credibility for this person. You're the one who brought them to the table to show them something that you felt was very important and can really change their lives. So how do you jump in and direct the conversation into a close? We've got a few suggestions, examples that we think that you could use. Do you see any reason why we shouldn't get started right now? Are you ready for us to go to work? Are you ready to start making some money? With my help, do you see a way where we can make some money together? Or one of my favorites is, can you see why I'm so excited about this business?
So at the end of the presentation, I would turn to my prospect and say, Jenny, you see why I'm so excited? And that's where you just stop and don't say anything. Let them answer. And she says, yeah, I'm excited. Say, well, look, I got this rep form here. Let's get this thing filled out. Do you want Jenny or Jennifer? How do you want your checks coming? And just let them answer. Now, if you're at a 2-on-1 appointment, say I'm at Denny's and my sponsor Bob's there. Okay? And when I'm sitting there talking to my friend Jim, okay, I've got my sponsor Bob. Bob finishes the presentation. I would turn to my friend Jim and say, Jim, I'm going to do this thing. My friend Bob here knows what he's doing. He's going to help us. We need to get this going.
Can't you see how you can make some serious money in this? Can't you see how Fortune's a credible company, right? And don't you see how it's working for me, right? And don't you agree it'll work for you? That's it. So I get 2 or 3 yeses, and then I go for the close. See, I get the head going up and down, right, with 2 or 3 guaranteed yes questions, and then I'll say, you're ready to get started.
A lot of people don't do this business because of fear. And if you will simply address that fear by closing them and address the fear, you'll get 90% more people signing up than you do. And what you do is sit across from them, slide the application, and then just look right at them and say to them, what would stop you from doing a business like this? The reason I do that is because 99% of the time people are going to tell you what they're afraid of. They're going to look at you and say, well, I'm not sure I can do this, or I'm not sure the company's real, or I'm not sure I have the time, or they're going to give you their reason. And most of the time it's just fear. So if somebody looked at me and they said to me, I'm just not sure I have the time to do this, then I know exactly how to address that and talk to them to try to close them. So I might say to them something like, well, what is it that takes up all of your time? And they'll probably most of the time say to me, I work a job 60 hours a week. And that's when I can easily say to them, you know what, I can relate to that because that's what I was doing when I started Fortune. But I also realized if I didn't do something different for the rest of my life, I was never going to be able to do what I wanted to do because somebody else owned my time. And you may not have the time, but I do have the time because I'm doing this business and I'm going to build a team and I want you to get on my team. And until you get free where you can do this full time, come join our team and let me help you build this business. You're going to have to take some time, but if you'll do it now, then the rest of your life you're going to have time freedom. Or you find out a way that you're comfortable addressing whatever objection someone gives you. If somebody says to me, I don't have the money, I'll just look at them, and I honestly believe this, and most of you guys will know this is true. People have the money for what they want to have the money for 99% of the time. The same person that says they don't have the money is the person that will borrow from their mortgage to go take a vacation because they value that with importance. So if somebody says that to me, I'll just joke with them and say, look, here's the key to my Lexus. If I told you right now, you know what, I like this new Lexus, but I don't really want it, I'm going to give it to you if you'll pay the tax, title, and license on it. It costs $299 for the tax, title, and license. And then I'll joke with them and I'll say, you'd go borrow $10 from 30 friends if you had to come up with that $299, but you would not let me walk away today without having that car. And the reason is because you see the value in the car. Our value system's messed up in this country because you see the value in that thing. I need you to see the value in getting money working for you so you can have the car or the whatever it is that your dream is that you want to have. But if you don't change what you're doing right now, you're never going to have the money. Frankly, if you don't have it today, your check's going to be the same 2 weeks from now and 2 weeks from there. You're never going to have it. If you will just do what it takes to start in this business and you'll work hard, then we can help you where you'll never be at that place again.
One of the things that you never want to do at the end of a presentation is ask the question, are you interested? I mean, certain words have a way of belittling our life-changing opportunity. For example, are you interested in going out to lunch? Are you interested in going to a movie? Are you interested in creating generational wealth? I mean, it doesn't even sound right. So stay away from phrases that are what I call deal breakers.
Well, are you interested? And they tell you, yes, I'm interested. And you both are looking at each other. You're both interested. Okay, let's go beyond interested. Are you ready to make it happen?
Never say, so what do you think? Because you've just taken this great, big, enormous opportunity that can change their lives and reduced it to something that they can live with or without. The next thing that you've done is you've just opened a great, big exit door and told them that they have to think about it. So instead of directing their conversation and how do I get started, now they're thinking, well, I'm going to go home and think about this over supper and maybe over the next couple of weeks.
Whatever you do, don't turn to them and say, what do you think? Because if you ask someone what they think, then that means you're asking their opinion on something that you might care about. And you don't care about what their opinion is because you're already committed to doing this.
This is your business, you're doing this. You know, I was on an airplane today, and if I was walking down the jetway to Northwest Airlines and the pilot was standing out front going, what do you think? You think it'll fly? You know, I'd be like, no way. You know, I'm not getting on a plane with that guy. That's crazy, you know. So guys, you know, you're the pilot of your business. You know it works. You've been paid from it. You're excited about it. You know people who are making money at it. Doesn't matter what your prospect thinks. Don't ever ask somebody what they think because what they think doesn't matter. You know, you need to know if fortune's for them or not. And so right at the end of the presentation, hey, Jim, do you see how we can do this together and make some money? You know, that's something you can say to start initiating a close. Or, hey, Jim, here's the fortune form. You know, how would you like your name spelled? Jim, or do you want James on there, your legal name? How you want to do this thing? So those are a couple key phrases that you can say to kind of move the topic toward let's get you signed up. Another one is, hey, Jim, do you see why I'm so excited? Let's get this thing going, you know? So just something to lead them toward getting started in the business. If you have a representative form and you break that thing out right at the end of the presentation, 9 times out of 10, the topic of discussion becomes filling out the paperwork. So it's very, very important that you get off the presentation and get right to the meeting after the meeting. But it's very important that I leverage my credibility and let that contact, that prospect know that, hey, I'm doing this, I'm sold on this, I believe in this, I want you on my team. So if I just sit there like a toadstool or something, my poor buddy Bob here, my sponsor, is going to have to do a lot of selling and a lot of talking and he's going to have to push my buddy. And you know, my credibility, my relationship with Jim is what's going to get him involved in Fortune. Not how great Fortune is, not how wonderful my sponsor Bob is, but my credibility, Jim's belief in me, my mutual respect for Jim, that's what gets people started in Fortune. People don't buy Fortune, they buy you. Do they believe you? Are you going to do it? Are you going to make it happen? Are you going to be there to help them? You need to let them know that you're going to be there for them. So it's very, very important that you ask them to take immediate action. I'm going to build this thing. I'm going to be a regional here in a week. You know, I want you to be with me. Let's go. We're going to do this together. Compel your prospect to take action right then and there on the spot.
As you're out there building this business and showing this business to your friends and family and your coworkers, be proud, be excited. I'm very proud to be a part of this company. It's changed my life forever, and I know that. So that's what the people are going to see, is the belief that you have in yourself and in this company. And there's no shame in this whatsoever. I think the shame is working 40 years for somebody else, and at the end of that 40 years still being broke.
As you are beginning to recognize now, there's a huge difference than sending a mass email out about a business that you've gotten involved in and directing to them a website than it is having physical interaction with people and sharing the business in person. And here's the key thing, with passion. See, what people want to believe in with all their heart is there is a better way of life. They really do. Everybody really wants a way to create more time freedom in their life and more income. We have that way. But when you take you out of the equation, there's too much insecurity in the world today. There's infomercials. There's this thing they tried before. And what you have to do is you have to show up in person and use your credibility with them and your friendship and the relationship you built over time to get them to stop, look, and listen. And then when they see are name brand companies, and they see the way we work. They see the minimum investment. They see there's no monthly quotas. They see there's no shipping. They see all the things that they're scared of don't exist here. Guys, you've got a business partner you otherwise would have never had. And I have found out over the 5 years that I've been full-time in Fortune that the people often they're the hardest to get to sit down and look become the very best at it once you get them in front of it. So never take somebody that is skeptical and think they're not interested in what you're doing. The skeptical people often become the very best. How you get our job here, if you want to get good and make a lot of money here, your job is to become a presenter of what we do. But how you make money is being able to take a skeptical person and help them overcome their concerns and their anxieties and their worries and maybe their past experiences and show them there's a real way here with Fortune that they can create that extra income flow and change the course of their future.
You know what's a really good thing to say to people is ask them, point blank ask them, look, whatever you do for a living, if you're a teacher, a firefighter, a policeman, whatever you do, look at somebody that's been doing that 10 years longer than you. Is that where you want to be in 10 years? Because don't kid yourself to think you're going to be any different than that, because those jobs pay what a position's worth, not what a person's worth. And if that's not where you want to be in 10 years, then we've got to do something different. And look, if you love being a teacher, great, keep being a teacher, but don't do it because of the paycheck. Do it because you love it, and let yourself be financially free in every other area. I know for a fact the reason why a lot of people sign up when I do the presentation is just because I don't let them just give a pat answer and walk away. I make them think about where they're at, where they're going, and make a decision based off of that instead of them just doing the same thing. It's like the hamster that runs on the wheel. You know, most people are just running on that wheel and they don't know anything else to do, but they're going nowhere. And I just make people stop and think about that. And if it's not Fortune, then I want them to find something that's going to make them have money work for them, but at least make them think in that direction.
Expecting success is important in this business, I believe. You get what you expect. So go into a presentation expecting that person to join your team and be prepared for that person to join your team. I can't tell you how many times I will be at a presentation and I'll see somebody that has a guest and they don't even have a form, an application ready to sign up that person, or a Jumpstart training DVD, or a kit, or whatever it takes to get someone started. They don't even bring that. So if you don't expect someone to get started and you're not prepared for them to get started, why would they start? So just be prepared, showing the presentation, and just expect someone to get started.